Oh, this is actually kind of small because the bigger ballpark is actually much bigger. 看到你看，他可以坐在球场外面的 roof 上面，那可以卖票的，对啊，对啊，都卖票的，好特别。
然后我想说，为什么有这么高的？
那个要卖票啊，就是你进不来，可是你分别看得到同样的。
They had been in first place for over 4 months with a record of 75 and 44.
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
There is one thing I can talk about out here, which this is the crushed red brick. And when you're over here, you can hear the sound it makes.
Yeah,
and that's very strategic. Wrigley Field has the deepest warning track in all of Major League Baseball.
It has a dome with columns. This is London House Chicago, another example of neoclassical architecture. London House Chicago was the corporate headquarters for the London Guarantee and Accident Company, a maritime insurance company that was here in the late 1800s, early 1900s. This building was completed in 1923. The architect was Alfred Alschuler. And Chicago at that time had so much boat traffic, commercial and passenger boats. They had more boats coming to ports in Chicago than New York, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Charlotte, Mobile, and Baltimore combined. You can still see the winged lions that are the symbol of the London Guarantee and Accident Company. And this is an example of something they call adaptive reuse. When a building is no longer serving its original function, and rather than tear it down and build a new building, which is harder on the environment, they will simply adapt the old building for reuse. So not only is it more sustainable, but it also preserves some of our beautiful historic architecture. Now we're on the main branch of the Chicago River heading west. On your left, you're going to see sidewalks along the river. There will be people walking, jogging, getting a bite to eat, something to drink. This is the Chicago Riverwalk. The Riverwalk was completed in 2014 to 2016. And the architecture firm was Ross, Barney and Associates, and the lead designer was Carol Ross Barney. There was an architect here in Chicago named Daniel Burnham. He was very influential. His famous quote is, "Make no small plans." And Daniel Burnham and Edward Bennett, who designed the DuSable Bridge, got together and wrote a book called the 1909 Plan of Chicago. This is the Jewelers Building. It's 35 East Wacker. It was completed in 1926 and designed by the architects Yaver and Dinkelberg. He needed a certain amount of setback from the water. There are railroad lines behind it, but structural innovations allowed this building to be built. It expands as it goes up. It's got an extra strong concrete core, and the steel columns are 40% stronger than ordinary steel. And as we come out from under the bridge, you'll see our boat reflected in those slanted windows. So you'll have the opportunity to take a boat selfie if you like, off to the right. So they dim that crown of light twice a year in order to help the birds. Now right in front of it, you'll see a building on your right that has very busy balconies. They're all different shapes. And this building, it's 235 West Van Buren. It was designed by an architect named Ralph Johnson, who wanted to capture the kinetic feeling of the highway that runs past the building. You'll see some glass boxes way up at the top, just under those spires. That's called the ledge, and that enables you, if you're up at the observation deck, to step out and you get a good view in front of you, to either side and straight down. In addition to the residential towers, the development, back when it was developed, had a movie theater that's now been changed into the House of Blues, a grocery store that I think is still there. They also had a bowling alley, and they had an ice skating rink. So it really was a fun place to live in the city. We'll see another example of her building, her architecture on the right, the building with the curvy lines. This is the St. Regis Chicago, and it's also the work of Jeannie Gang.